Hey, welcome back to The Dive. Today on the show, we have the CEO of West Red Lake Gold Mines, Shane Williams. Shane's joining us today to talk about the sentiment in the gold market, the possibility of a recession, how talks with institutional investors are going in this environment, and he's also going to give us an update on West Red Lake's drill programs and shine some light on their path forward, so stay tuned. Hey Shane, welcome to The Dive. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Cassandra. Great to be on.
Okay, so Shane, let's start off with gold. Gold has caught some tailwinds here with the price now sitting above $2,000 an ounce. What is your assessment of what's happening in the gold market right now?
Yeah, the market has been very sleepy for quite a while, but in the last couple of weeks, we're beginning to get a bit of a new interest in the gold market, I think, given the political uncertainty that's going on with the recent Israel sort of Hamas issue, and also the ongoing conflict in Ukraine and with Russia. I think people are waking up to obviously the overvaluation of the market as well. And I think that's encouraging new investors to look again at gold, and particularly the gold market and gold equities. And we are seeing a small increase in flows into the large EFTs and the gold market. So it's getting exciting, I believe, for the gold market after being down for a while.
Bloomberg came out today saying that Canada is tracking to announce back-to-back quarters of economic contraction. In other words, an official recession. Is Canada unique here, or are we just the first to show the cracks?
No, the Federal Reserve has been raising interest rates, as you well know, for quite a while now. And there's always a lagging effect to these interest rates. There's a lot of people talking about, are we going to get a recession, not a recession? I believe that the lag effect of these interest rates is just beginning to start around the world. And we're seeing that with a number of countries coming out with slowing economic growth. And Canada has just come out there. And I believe it's only a matter of time before the US is the same. So over the next few months, I do expect to see this slowing growth across the world, which does indicate a recession is coming.
I imagine you're talking to lots of institutional investors. From your view, what's the sentiment towards gold producers right now?
So overall, look, the sentiment is quite good. Remember, gold has been at 1900 sort of for a long time. I mean, if you're a gold producer at the moment, you're still making very good margins. You know, the AISC of most of those producers is around 1200. So you're making a lot of margin, even today at a gold price where people say is depressed. I think what the main issue is that it hasn't translated into the lower level equities, as in the juniors and developers. And so they're very, very incredibly valued at the moment. And it's only a matter of time before people start to get back interested in those and move down along the tape into the developers and juniors.
Now let's talk about West Red Lake. You're new to the story and you have a strong track record with major producers. What made you want to get involved here?
Yeah, so my background is a little bit mainly on larger companies with large project development around the world. And what really excited me about this opportunity was obviously the team that's around it. Obviously, Frank Giustra and some of the key backers that are behind the company. And also, when I saw the asset itself, it's incredibly valued. And so, you know, there's a saying in the industry that you always try and buy when there's blood in the street sort of investment. And we saw this opportunity to get this asset for very, very cheap. And so the combination of the backers behind us, the cheap asset, and the potential to grow this into a cash flowing mid-tier company. And so all those excited me, and that's why I came on board.
The 2023 drill program at the Rowan mine target has been focused on validating historical data and infilling apparent gaps in the analytical data set. Can you share insights on how the historical data has aligned with the recent drilling outcomes?
Yeah, the original West Red Lake was focused on our Rowan property. And as we said, we saw it as a exploration type property before we ended up securing the Madsen property. However, it has surprised us to the upside on our drill results. I mean, we put in a program in there. We started off and more of a validation to the existing resource, but we are seeing incredible results over the last number of months, which give us a lot of confidence that the resource will actually grow and will expand the resource. the resource that was there was a historical resource. So we're putting new modern techniques onto it, fully sampling, looking at it from a different lens. And that's proven very, very successful. And we are getting a lot of growth on the system as well. So yeah, it's exciting times for Rowan.
Can you elaborate on the strategic path forward for the Madsen mine and Rowan mine projects?
Yeah, so the Madsen project was an existing operating mine. It operated for about 18 months. Some of the key challenges associated with that were, COVID was in the time when they started to ramp up. They had some issues with undercapitalization. They took on a lot of debt. But one of the key areas was that these deposits need a lot of definition drilling and development. And so this was a task that was really overlooked by the previous group. So we're going to spend a bit of time going back in underground, doing some development and focusing on that definition drilling. So that's really the next 12 to 15 months on the Madsen project. And on Rowan, the idea is just to develop a resource and potentially move that to production. We've started some studies, we've started some baseline studies, we've started some permitting. So the idea is that both of these together will be run in parallel and both produce together. And so we have a mill with a great facility, and we have a Rowan property that can feed in with the Madsen property to grow it into a much larger resource on the books, the base for a larger company.
Now, as you mentioned, the company has a strong capital markets team. Given the current starvation for capital in the junior markets, how tempting is it to go make more acquisitions?
So yeah, as I said, one of the keys when we came on board was the backers we have. And I look in depressed markets, so-called for developers, we have raised over $32 million in the last 6 months. So the backers have supported us, and we've had a good access to capital. So at this stage, our focus is more on de-risking the asset we have and moving forward. I think as we go forward and the market recognizes the value we have and the value we have in our company, we will get a re-rating. And then is the time, once we get that re-rating, to look at opportunities. Look, at the moment, there's lots of opportunities around the Red Lake region and around this area of Canada. So they are something we're looking at, but they're more second stage for the moment.
Okay, now last question. For investors watching, are there any timelines or milestones that they should keep an eye out for?
Yeah, I think we're going to continue to drill in Rowan, and look, we're getting some spectacular results. And on Madsen, we're just starting to drill on Madsen. And, some of the initial results we're seeing are pretty special, and they will really open up people's to the quality of this asset. But over the next number of months, we're also planning to put together an integrated study with all our projects in the region feeding into our central mill. That should be into early next year sort of thing. So drill results for the next number of months, and then an updated study, updated resources, and updated study. And I think they're some of the key over the next 8 to 10 months.
Okay, great. Well, Shane, that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for hopping on and updating us on West Red Lake's story.
Excellent. Thank you very much. It's great to be on. Thank you.
To our audience at home, thank you so much for tuning in today. We will be back with more content like this. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that subscribe button below me there so you don't miss out on the next one. Bye.